Hello cadets, my name is Imran Khan, Biology faculty in Defense Career Academy. Welcome to the online classes of Defense Career Academy. So in this lecture, we will continue with our human skeletal system. In the first lecture, we have already seen axial skeletal system. Human skeletal system is divided into two parts, two basic parts, axial skeletal system and appendicular skeletal system. As far as axial skeletal system, we have already seen that it has 80 bones. 80 bones. Human skeletal system is completely having 206 bone. 206 bone. And the axial skeletal system consists of 80 bones. Appendicular skeletal system consists of 126 bones. So combinedly, it forms 206 bone. This topic is important in all types of competitive level examinations. Axial skeletal system we have already seen. Now in this lecture, we will focus on appendicular skeletal system. This table is important in all types of aspects like number of bones, which type of bones, the location of bones, and we will see which part of the body consists in axial and appendicular skeletal system. Now, see this appendicular skeletal system. Appendicular skeletal system consists of again two subparts. Girdle's bone. Girdle's bone. Girdles having 6 bones. Girdle is furthermore divided into two types of girdle. Number one is pectoral girdle. Number one is pectoral girdle. Number two is pelvic girdle. Pectoral girdle having two types of bone, scapula and clavicle. Scapula and clavicle. Clavicle, we know that the clavicle is also called as collarbone. Two clavicle is present in our body. One is right side which joined with the right shoulder, and left one is left clavicle, left collarbone is connect with the left shoulder. And from the back side, the scapula is joined and it forms the shoulder joint like right shoulder and left shoulder. So two bones. So scapula is also two, means it is right scapula and left scapula. The clavicle is also two, but the scapula is present posterior part of the body. Posterior part. Posterior part of the body. And clavicle is present the frontal part of the body. Posterior, and this is frontal part of the body. This is collarbone, which is clavicle. We are calling as a clavicle, collarbone. So this is also two clavicle, right clavicle and left clavicle, two numbers. So like this pectoral girdle combinedly forming two scapula and two clavicle, forming 4 pectoral girdle bone. Now remaining two is form pelvic bone, pelvic girdle. Pelvic girdle formed, and it is formed by, it is also called as coxal bone. Coxal bone. It is also called as hip bone. Hip bone. And this is also two, means right hip bone and left hip bone. Right coxal bone and left coxal bone. With the help of that, it forms a pelvic girdle. With the help of that pelvic girdle, coxal bone or hip bone, we can sit, we can bend the body, we can sit and we can run. Okay, So this is pelvic girdle, which is 2 bone. Formation 4 plus 2 is 6. So 6 bone forms the girdles. Remaining 120 bones is come from the limb bones. Limb. What do you mean by limb? Appendages, hands and legs, hands and legs. So these are the limbs. And in the limbs, the part of the limbs, the part of the bone in the limbs is called as limb bones. Like that, the upper limb, hands, 2 hands. Okay. So, number 1, humerus, radius, ulna. The wrist bone is carpus. The palm bone is called as metacarpus. And the flanges, these are called as flanges. One more. Humerus, radius, ulna, wrist, carpus, palm, metacarpus, and phalanges. These are called as upper limb. So humerus, radius, ulna join together parallelly. Radius, ulna, humerus 1, radius 1, ulna 1. Carpus. Carpus is wrist bone. The carpus are wrist bone. Wrist. Carpus present in the wrist. Metacarpus present in the palm. Metacarpus present in the palm. Okay? Palm. So metacarpus. Carpus 8. Metacarpus 5. And the phalanges. Phalanges 14. How it makes 14? Thumb, 2 digit. 1, 2. Finger, 1, 2, 3. Second finger, 1, 2, 3. Third, 1, 2, 3. 4, 1, 2, 3. So 3 plus 3, 6. 6 plus 3, 9. 9 plus 3, 12. 12 plus 2, 1, 2. 14. Like this. This 14 plus 14 makes 28. So like this. It makes 14 flanges in one hand. 14 flanges in one hand. This is one hand. Humerus, radius, ulna, carpus, metacarpus, phalanges. This makes 30. 30 in one hand. 30 in another hand. It makes 60 in upper limb, means in hand. 2 hands. 2 hands. It makes 60 bones. Let us see lower limb. The lower limb similarly 60 bones. 2 legs, 30 plus 30 makes it 60. Like thigh bone. Thigh bone. Thigh bone is femur. Kneecap, patella is called as kneecap. Kneecap. Kneecap, it is patella. Next, tibia, calf bone. Tibia, fibula, calf bone.